All right. Well,
Ooh, Eagles, Raiders. I think I got you on this one in our bets last
yeah,
week.
you did.
Yeah.
You did. So, okay, I'm not going to go too crazy. It is the Raiders, and they are really, really bad.
They're super bad.
So I'm not going to sit there and make some kind of, explanation like, oh my God, the Eagles are back, blah, blah, blah. I do think there's something to just good vibes and finally being able to feel good about yourself. Like,
no doubt.
and look, like, if the Eagles are supposed to be this playoff team, this super team, or this, blah, blah, then do what you're supposed to do, and that's what they did. And this is why I now believe that it's not 2023 all over again. Even though 2023 was defense, this is more offense related. Because the 2023 team would not have done this. They would not have done that. They would have barely beat the Raiders, or they would have somehow lost.
Yeah.
In 2023, we started out 10-1, and then we lost 5 of our last 6. The only win in there was barely beating a really, really bad Giants team who ended up just destroying us the last week of the season anyway. We lost to, I can't remember what the Arizona Cardinals record was at the time. It was like 3-11 or 2-11 or whatever it was, kind of similar to the Raiders. And I remember all week in that year, at least we got the Cardinals. Like, the Eagles aren't going to lose to the Cardinals. And then they lost to the Cardinals. Yeah. So all week when the media was sitting there saying, well, at least you got the Raiders, this is a get-right game. Like, I was nervous. I'm like, guys, have we not learned? Like, when there's a collapse, like there's a supernatural collapse. Like, I'm not sure we will win this game. There's something voodoo-ish going on here. Not only we will win, like, you got to listen to some of this shit, dude. Fucking hell. So the Eagles backup offense. By the way, I did get to see Tanner McKee. He went 3 for 3 for 33 yards.
Nice.
Anyway, more on that later. But the Eagles backup offense had one drive in the fourth quarter. They ate up like 11 minutes or like that. They went 78 yards on that one drive. The Eagles backup offense, not just the backup quarterback, we're talking backup receivers, backup O-line, 78 yards. You know how much the offense the Oakland Raiders had in the entire game? 75.
Yeah. Eagles defense is awesome.
What the fuck? Like,
that's awesome.
So that was the fewest yards gained for the Raiders since 1961.
Wow.
It's the fewest allowed by the Eagles since 1955.
Wow.
The game, so the Eagles outgained the Raiders by 317 yards. That's the most in 17 years by any team. And the game length was 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Wow,
that's the shortest.
Quick.
That's the shortest Eagles game ever recorded.
Ran the football and played defense.
And the second shortest game ever in the NFL since game time was recorded beginning in 1999. Jalen Hurts was 12 of. Now, this is one thing I'll say. It was the Raiders. I'm not going to sit there and say, like, my viewpoint on Jalen Hurts has not changed. I think he's top 10 in resume. I think he has a knack for winning games and not fucking up. That's why all the turnovers last week was like, what the fuck? That's the one thing you usually don't do is turn it over. You were in the crosshairs in the media all fucking week.
Yeah.
And to come out, he went 12 for 15, so 3 incompletions. One of them was a touchdown drop by Dallas Goedert. It was wide, right in your hand.
That's crazy. He only threw it 15 times.
Yeah.
That's wild.
12 for 15 for 107. Now, that is again with a touchdown drop. 175 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 154.9 passer rating. I give the guy credit. My viewpoint on him and what I want to see, him working within the timing of the offense and all that stuff has not changed. But I will tip my cap, be like, dude, you were in the crosshairs all week. The Philly fans, you could tell they were just waiting to boo. They were waiting. The first play of the game, Saquon goes for 1 yard, and you could just feel the tension. Like, the Eagles fans are just done and ready to watch this 3 and out and ready to boo the crap out of them. And to come out and to play like that, like, I think that means something. Like, I'll give him a tip of the cap for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was crazy too. And was it the first or second drive where Goddard drops that wide open?
It was the second, yeah.
I was like, second man.
It was wide. It was the easiest freaking layup. I'm like, how do you drop that?
I kind of thought, like, after that, I was like, I wonder if it's going to be another one of these games. But, props to the Eagles for showing up and beating a team they should have beaten. And if you're a Raiders fan, or if you're the Raiders, like, where do you go from here? Like, what a disaster of a season.
It's not just the beating them 31-0, which, by the way, the Chiefs beat them 31-0 too earlier in the year. So, I mean, the Raiders are that bad.
It's just there's no progress all year.
But 75 yards of offense. I understand it's the Raiders, and it's understanding it was even with a backup for them because
Kenny Pickett
came in for Geno Smith. I'm not sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But 75 yards.
Yeah, 0 points. 0 points, 75 yards offense. I don't know. If I'm the Raiders, I'm like I think you clean house, honestly, after the season.
Pete
You have
Carroll's
to.
got to be done. He's the oldest coach in the
have to
league.
clean house.
What are you going to do? He's the oldest coach in the league. You're going to have him there for another
2
massive
years?
rebuild?
Yeah, exactly. He's not young enough for a rebuild.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Some fresh blood in there, man.
I'm not ready to sit there and make it. They're going to win the NFC, especially with the Cowboys losing. Like, the magic number's 1. Like, the only way the Cowboys make the playoffs, because they're pretty much out of it in the wild card scenarios. So Eagles have to lose all 3. Cowboys have to win all 3. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the path for the Cowboys to get in. I don't see that happening. Matter of fact, I don't even know if the Cowboys beat the Chargers.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure about
the way
that.
they played against the Vikings, man. The defense was the issue.
So before we move on, let me just address, because I got a lot of hate on my short about the Jalen Hurts thing. Like, I'm all of a sudden the Jalen Hurts hater. All the roles have reversed. Look, Jalen Hurts had a good game. He's capable of making every throw. And Jalen Hurts had a great game. The reason why I want Jalen Hurts benched wasn't because I didn't think he could rebound or ever have a good game again or blah, blah, blah. And I know it was the shortest sample size ever. But when Tanner McKee came in, he's throwing the backup receivers, by the way. The timing, it was just on point like that. It was just exactly how it's supposed to look. That's why I thought, man, if Tanner McKee ever has to come in, God forbid Jalen Hurts gets hurt, because they're not going to bench him. I already made that clear. The offense, the rhythm of the offense will be much, much, much better. When Jalen Hurts has to make all these plays off schedule or off script, that tells you something about the timing of the offense. So that's my whole thing. It's not that Jalen Hurts sucks. It's not that I don't think he can't have good games or rebound or blah, blah, blah. You won a Super Bowl with him. You went to another one with him. You can win with him. It was more of just like he has limitations, as does every quarterback. Josh Allen has limitations. You just don't know what those are because he has got good coaching and they play to his strengths. And he's a great quarterback at his strengths and doing what he does. Just that, I'm not a Jalen Hurts hater. Out of the two of us, I'm not the Jalen Hurts hater. Okay. Jeez.
Do you like that video I sent you of Jalen Hurts throwing rocks into the lake?
I didn't watch it. No, I'm
It
just
was
kidding.
hilarious.